September 2016. Paris Fashion Week. Givenchy runway show. The lights dim. Music starts. Models begin walking. Then she appears. Slender, elegant, dark hair swept back. That unmistakable face. The crowd gasps. Whispers ripple through the audience. Is that? It can't be. She looks exactly like Audrey Hepburn. But it's not Audrey. Audrey died in 1993, 23 years ago. This is Emma Ferrer, Audrey's granddaughter, age 22, walking the runway for the same house that dressed her grandmother for 4 decades. Givenchy, the brand synonymous with Audrey Hepburn, the designer who loved her so much he nearly bankrupted his business, giving her free clothes. The man who dressed her for breakfast at Tiffany's, Sabrina, funny face. Every iconic look. And now, 23 years after Audrey's death, her granddaughter walks his runway, wearing his designs, looking so much like Audrey that people cry watching her. But here's the tragic part. Emma never met her grandmother. She was born in 1994, 1 year after Audrey died. They never shared a room, never spoke, never touched. Emma knows Audrey only through photographs, films, stories, memories of others. She inherited her grandmother's face, her elegance, her legacy, but not one single memory. And yet, Emma has built her entire career on being Audrey Hepburn's granddaughter. Models for the brands that made Audrey famous. Givenchy, Tiffany and Company. Produces documentaries about her. Protects her image. Lives in her shadow. This is the story of Emma Ferrer, the granddaughter who never met the legend, the woman who looks exactly like someone she never knew, the model who works for her dead grandmother's favorite brands, and the impossible weight of inheriting a face, but not the memories that made it iconic. To understand Emma, you need to understand when she was born. 1993, the year Audrey Hepburn died. January 20th, 1993. Tolochenaz, Switzerland. Audrey Hepburn passes away at age 63. Surrounded by family, her partner Robert Walders, her sons Sean and Luca, but not her grandchildren, because she doesn't have any yet. Sean Hepburn Ferrer, Audrey's oldest son, is 32 years old, married to his first wife, Layla Flanagan. No children yet, trying for a baby. But Audrey dies before becoming a grandmother. Her last words to Sean, take care of each other, love each other. That's all that matters. She doesn't know that within a year, Sean will have a daughter, a baby girl who will look exactly like her, who will carry her genes, her face, her legacy. But Audrey will never meet her. 1994, Switzerland. Sean and Layla welcome their daughter, Emma Kathleen Hepburn Ferrer, born healthy, beautiful, perfect. The family gathers to meet the baby. Robert Walders, Audrey's partner, looks at Emma and cries. She has Audrey's eyes, the same exact eyes. Luca Dottie, Sean's half-brother, agrees. It's uncanny. She looks just like the baby photos of our mother. But the person who should be there, holding Emma, marveling at the resemblance, being a grandmother, is gone. Dead 1 year. So close, yet impossibly far. Emma will grow up knowing this, knowing she missed her grandmother by 1 year. 1 year. If Audrey had lived just 12 more months, if the cancer had been caught earlier, if treatment had worked, if. But there are no ifs in death, only absence. Emma's first years are normal as they can be for the granddaughter of a legend. Sean raises her in Switzerland, the same country where Audrey lived, the same landscapes, the same air, trying to give Emma the childhood Audrey would have wanted. But Audrey's absence is everywhere. In the photos on the walls, in the stories Sean tells, in the way strangers look at Emma as she grows. You look just like your grandmother. Did you know that? Emma learns early. She's not just Emma. She's Audrey Hepburn's granddaughter. And that comes with expectations. Age 5. Emma sees breakfast at Tiffany's for the first time. Watches her grandmother on screen, young, glamorous, iconic, and thinks, that's supposed to be my grandma? Why didn't I meet her? Emma asks Sean. She died before you were born, sweetheart. Why? Because she got sick, and we couldn't save her. Did she know about me? Did she know I was coming? Sean pauses, chooses his words carefully. She knew we were trying for a baby. She was so excited to be a grandmother, but she died before you arrived. So she never saw me? Not in person, but I think she sees you now, from wherever she is. It's a nice thought, but it doesn't fill the hole, doesn't give Emma what she wants. Memories, real memories, not stories, not films, not photographs. Memories of holding her grandmother's hand, hearing her laugh, being loved by her. But Emma will never have that. And as she grows, that absence shapes her, makes her obsessed with Audrey, with understanding her, with becoming worthy of the resemblance everyone keeps mentioning. 2000 to 2012. Emma's childhood and adolescence, growing up in the shadow of the most famous face of the 20th century. The resemblance intensifies as Emma ages. By 10, she looks like young Audrey. Same bone structure, same doe eyes, same elegant features. People stop her on the street. Are you related to Audrey Hepburn? She's my grandmother. Oh my God. You look exactly like her. Exactly. At first it's flattering, special, but it becomes suffocating. Because Emma can't just be Emma. She's always Audrey's granddaughter, the look-alike, the genetic echo. Middle school is brutal. Kids are cruel. And having a famous dead grandmother makes you a target. Oh, look, it's Audrey Hepburn's granddaughter. So does that make you famous too? Why aren't you a movie star like your grandma? My mom says your grandma was anorexic. Are you anorexic too? Emma learns to hate the comparison, hate the questions, hate looking like someone she never met. 13 years old. Emma tells Sean, I don't want to look like her anymore. I want to look like me. You do look like you. You just also happen to look like your grandmother. But everyone only sees her. Nobody sees me. Sean understands. He grew up as Audrey's son, knows the burden of that name, that face, that legacy. Listen, he tells Emma, your grandmother would want you to be yourself, not a copy of her. Use the resemblance if it helps you. Ignore it if it doesn't. But don't let it define you. Good advice, but impossible to follow. Because the resemblance isn't something Emma can control. It's genetic, permanent, inescapable. High school. Emma develops interests, art, photography, fashion. She's creative, talented, but always compared to Audrey, always measured against an impossible standard. Teachers. Your grandmother was in My Fair Lady. Have you thought about acting? Emma. No, I'm not an actress. But you look just like her. You could be. I don't want to be her. I want to be me. But the world doesn't want Emma. It wants Audrey 2.0. A reincarnation, a replacement. Something to fill the hole left by her death. And slowly, Emma realizes, fighting the resemblance is exhausting. Maybe she should use it. Embrace it. Turn it into opportunity. 2012. Emma is 18, applying to colleges, thinking about her future. Wondering, what do you do when you look like the most iconic woman of the 20th century? Option 1. Hide, change your appearance, dye your hair, gain weight. Do everything possible to not look like Audrey. Option 2. Embrace it. Use the resemblance. Build a career on it. Become a model, an actress, a public figure. Option 3. Ignore it. Live normally. Get a regular job. Pretend the genetics don't matter. Emma chooses option 2, not because it's easy, but because fighting genetics is impossible. And if the world sees Audrey when they look at her, she might as well use that. Build something. Make the resemblance meaningful. I'm going to be a model, Emma tells Sean. Are you sure? That's a brutal industry. I look like Audrey Hepburn. Fashion designers will want me. It's the one advantage I have. It's not an advantage. It's a burden. Then I'll make it an advantage. That decision changes everything. Emma stops fighting the resemblance, starts cultivating it. Studies Audrey's style, her mannerisms, her elegance, not to copy her, but to understand her, to make the genetic connection intentional rather than accidental. 2014, Emma is 20 years old. She begins modeling, not in Paris or Milan or New York, but small shoots, local campaigns, building a portfolio. Her first professional photo shoot is for a Swiss fashion magazine. The photographer takes one look at Emma and says, "You're Audrey Hepburn's granddaughter." Yes. Can we play on that? Style you like her? Do a tribute? Emma hesitates. This is what she feared. Being used, exploited, turned into a tribute act. I'd rather you photograph me as a me, Emma says carefully. If the resemblance comes through, fine, but I don't want to be a costume. The photographer respects that. The photos are beautiful, elegant, and yes, Audrey-esque. But Emma, not a copy. Those photos get attention. Fashion blogs pick them up. Audrey Hepburn's granddaughter is modeling, and she looks just like her. Suddenly, Emma has offers. Agencies want to sign her. Brands want to work with her. All because of her genetics. All because she looks like someone she never met. It's validating and depressing. Validating because her career is launching. Depressing because it's not about her talent. It's about her DNA. But Emma pushes forward. Because this is the path she chose, and she'll make it work. 2015, Emma's first major campaign. Harper's Bazaar, a full spread, styled in vintage Givenchy, photographed in black and white, looking exactly like young Audrey. The headline, "The New Audrey, Meet Emma Ferrer." Emma hates that headline, "The New Audrey," as if she's a replacement, a sequel, not a person in her own right. But the photos are stunning. Emma looks radiant, confident. And yes, exactly like her grandmother, their resemblance is undeniable. Haunting, beautiful. The spread goes viral. Fashion world notices. Designers call. Agencies compete. Emma becomes the most talked about new model of 2015. Not because of her walk. Not because of her portfolio. Because of her face, her genes, her grandmother. That's when Givenchy calls. We'd love Emma to walk in our Paris show. Spring-Summer 2016, a tribute to Audrey. Emma's heart sinks. A tribute. Of course, because that's all she'll ever be. A living tribute to someone else. But she says yes. Because turning down Givenchy, the house that dressed her grandmother, feels wrong. Like refusing her legacy. September 2016, Paris, Fashion Week. Emma arrives at Givenchy headquarters. The creative director meets her personally. Your grandmother and Hubert were so close. He loved her. Designed for her for 40 years. And now you're here. It's like she sent you to us. Emma doesn't correct him. Doesn't say, she didn't send me. She died before I was born. She never knew I existed. Instead, Emma says, I'm honored to be here. The show is in 3 days. Emma rehearses, learns the walk, practices in the clothes, elegant, timeless, very Audrey. Backstage, other models whisper. That's Audrey Hepburn's granddaughter. She looks exactly like her. It's creepy. Creepy. That word stings. Because Emma knows what they mean. It is creepy, looking exactly like someone who died. Being a genetic ghost, a walking reminder of someone who doesn't exist anymore. Show day. Emma is terrified, not of falling, not of messing up, but of being judged, compared, found wanting. The show starts, models walk. Then Emma's turn. She steps onto the runway. The music swells, cameras flash, and Emma walks, elegant, poised, channeling something, not Audrey exactly, but the essence, the grace, the thing that made Audrey special. The crowd goes silent, then whispers, then applause, because Emma isn't just modeling clothes. She's embodying legacy. Making the past present, showing everyone Audrey's spirit lives on, in her jeans, in her walk, in her face. Backstage after, Emma cries, not from joy, from relief. She did it, survived it, proved she could carry the weight of that name. But also from sadness, because her grandmother should have been there, watching, proud. But she wasn't, and never will be. If Givenchy was Emma's connection to her grandmother's fashion legacy, Tiffany and Company is the connection to her most iconic role. Breakfast at Tiffany's, 1961. The film that made Audrey immortal. The little black dress, the pearls, the tiara. The image of Audrey standing outside Tiffany's window, eating a croissant. One of the most famous images in cinema history. 2016, just months after the Givenchy show. Tiffany and Company approaches Emma. We're doing a campaign, celebrating our heritage. Iconic women who wore Tiffany. We want you, as a tribute to your grandmother. Emma's first instinct, decline. Because tribute always means the same thing. You're not yourself. You're a stand-in, a replacement, a ghost. But then she thinks, breakfast at Tiffany's defined her grandmother. Tiffany is part of Audrey's DNA, part of Emma's DNA by extension. Maybe this isn't exploitation. Maybe it's honoring something real. Emma says yes. The campaign is shot in New York, outside the Fifth Avenue flagship store, the exact location where Audrey stood in 1961. Emma wears similar styling, black dress, pearls, elegant updo. The photographer shows Emma the reference image, the famous breakfast at Tiffany's still, Audrey looking in the window. "We're not asking you to copy this," the photographer says. "Just channel it. Channel her." Emma looks at the photo, her grandmother. Young, beautiful, timeless, a woman Emma never met, a woman whose shoes she's literally standing in. "I'll try," Emma says quietly. The shoot is surreal. Emma stands where Audrey stood, looks where Audrey looked, poses how Audrey posed, but it doesn't feel like copying. It feels like connection, like reaching through time, like touching someone who died before you were born. The photos are released in 2017. The campaign is called Believe in Dreams. Emma in front of Tiffany's, looking exactly like her grandmother, but also herself. Both. Neither. Something in between. The response is overwhelming. People cry looking at the photos. It's like Audrey's back. She looks exactly like her. This is eerie and beautiful. Emma reads the comments. Hundreds of them. Thousands. All saying the same thing. You look like her. You remind us of her. You make us remember her. And Emma realizes that's her purpose. Not to be Audrey, but to keep her memory alive. To be a living reminder that Audrey existed, mattered, changed the world. It's a weird purpose, a strange career, being a monument to someone else, but Emma embraces it. Because if she doesn't, who will? 2018, Emma does more campaigns, more shoots, all trading on the resemblance, all connected to Audrey. She models for fashion brands that dressed her grandmother, works with photographers who photographed her grandmother, appears in magazines that featured her grandmother. Her career is successful. She's working, making money, building a name, but always as Audrey's granddaughter, never just Emma. Friends ask, "Don't you want to be known for yourself, not just your genetics?" Emma's honest, "Of course. But the genetics are what I have. And if I can use them to honor her legacy, that's something." "But what about your legacy?" "I don't know yet. Maybe my legacy is preserving hers." It's a sad answer, a sacrifice, Emma giving up individuality to maintain memory. But she's made peace with it, because looking like Audrey isn't a choice. It's genetics, and genetics are fate. 2019, Emma is 25, 5 years into modeling, successful but restless, because modeling is surface, appearance, genetics. And Emma wants substance, wants to actually understand her grandmother, not just look like her. Her father Sean calls. "I'm producing a documentary about your grandmother. Director Helena Cohn. Proper archival footage, interviews, the real story, not just the icon, the person." "And you want me involved?" "I want you to produce it with me. Your generation doesn't know Audrey, doesn't understand why she mattered. You can help tell that story." Emma hesitates, because this is different from modeling. This is actively shaping her grandmother's legacy, taking responsibility for how she's remembered. It's terrifying, but also necessary. Emma has spent 5 years being Audrey's face. Maybe it's time to be her voice too. "I'll do it," Emma tells Sean, 2019 to 2020. Emma works on the documentary, watches hundreds of hours of footage, interviews, film clips, home movies, seeing her grandmother move, laugh, talk, exist. It's the closest Emma will ever get to meeting her. These flickering images, this archived voice, this preserved past. One clip stops Emma cold. Audrey in 1992, 1 year before her death, talking about her sons, her life, her regrets. "I wish I'd had more time," Audrey says to the camera. "More time with my boys, more time to see what they become, to meet their children, to be a grandmother. That's all I want now. Just more time." Emma cries watching it, because Audrey got more time with her sons, but not enough. She never became a grandmother, never met Emma, never knew she existed. "She wanted to meet me," Emma tells Sean. "She died wanting what I wanted, to know me." "She would have loved you," Sean says. "Would have been so proud." "How do you know?" "Because you look like her, but you're also kind like her, generous like her. You got more than her face. You got her heart." Emma doesn't know if that's true, doesn't know if genetics transmit kindness, but she wants to believe it, wants to think she's connected to Audrey in more than appearance. The documentary, titled simply Audrey, is released in 2020. Emma is listed as producer. Her first non-modeling credit. Her first attempt at legacy beyond appearance. The film is beautiful, honest. Shows Audrey as complex, not just glamorous, not just perfect, but human, flawed, struggling, real. Reviews mention Emma. Emma Ferrer, Audrey's look-alike granddaughter, helps tell her grandmother's story with insight and love. Emma reads that and thinks, maybe this is it. Maybe this is how I honor her, not by looking like her, but by ensuring she's remembered accurately, fully, truthfully. The documentary wins awards, gets strong reviews, introduces Audrey to a new generation, Emma's generation. People who know her from memes and Tumblr gifs, but don't know the real woman. And Emma feels, for the first time, like she's done something worthy. Not of the face, but of the person behind it. 2020 to present. Emma is now 30, no longer a new model, an established one, but still defined by one thing, looking like Audrey Hepburn. She's made peace with it, mostly because fighting genetics is exhausting. And the resemblance has given her opportunities, career, platform, purpose. But it's also taken something, individuality, the chance to be known for herself, to build a legacy separate from someone who died before she was born. People ask Emma, "What's it like looking exactly like your grandmother?" The honest answer, lonely, because everyone sees her when they look at me. But I never got to see her. I never met her. So I'm carrying a face I don't have memories to match. That's the tragedy. Emma has Audrey's face, but none of Audrey's experiences. She looks like someone she never knew, represents someone she never met, lives in the shadow of someone who doesn't exist anymore. Sometimes Emma wonders, what if I didn't look like her? What if I looked like my father or mother? What if I was just me? Would she still model, still work in fashion, still care about legacy? Or would she be free? Free to be ordinary, free to be Emma. Not Audrey's granddaughter, just Emma. But genetics don't allow hypotheticals. Emma looks like Audrey. That's fact. Unchangeable. And so her life is shaped by someone else's face. In 2023, Emma gives an interview. Rare for her. She's usually private, but she wants to explain. People think it's a gift, Emma says, looking like my grandmother. And in some ways it is, but it's also a burden, because I'm always compared to someone perfect, someone iconic, someone I can never live up to, because she's not real anymore. She's a memory, a photograph, an ideal. And I'm just a person. The interviewer asks, "Do you wish you'd met her?" "Every day," Emma says. "Every single day. Because then I'd have memories. Real memories. Not just stories, not just images. Memories of her holding me, loving me, knowing me. That would make the resemblance meaningful. Right now it's just genetic coincidence." What would you ask her, if you could? Emma thinks. Then, I'd ask her how to carry this. How to be someone's legacy without losing yourself. How to honor someone without disappearing. She lived with so much pressure, so much expectation. She'd know how to handle it. And I wish she could tell me. But Audrey can't tell her, because Audrey is dead, and Emma is alone, carrying a face, a name, a legacy, with no instruction manual. That's the reality of being Audrey Hepburn's granddaughter. You inherit beauty, grace, genetics, but not wisdom, not memories, not love. You inherit the shadow, not the person who cast it. And Emma lives in that shadow. Every day, every photo shoot, every campaign, every time someone says, "You look just like her." Yes, I do, but I don't know her. And that's the tragedy. January 20th, 1993, Audrey Hepburn dies in Switzerland. Age 63, cancer, surrounded by family, but not grandchildren, because she doesn't have any yet. 1 year later, Emma Kathleen Hepburn Ferrer is born. Switzerland, healthy, beautiful, looking exactly like the grandmother she'll never meet. 30 years pass. Emma grows up, becomes a model, works for Givenchy, Tiffany and Company, the brands that made Audrey famous, walks the same runways, stands in the same spots, wears the same styles. Everyone says, "You look just like her." And Emma does, exactly like her. Same face, same eyes, same elegance, genetic perfection. But Emma never met her, never heard her voice in person, never felt her touch, never had one single real memory of the woman whose face she inherited. That's the tragedy of Emma Ferrer. Not that she looks like Audrey Hepburn, but that she looks like someone she never knew, represents someone she never met, honors someone she never experienced. She's a living monument to a dead woman, a genetic echo of someone who doesn't exist. A granddaughter without grandmother memories. Emma has built a career on the resemblance. Givenchy runways, Tiffany campaigns, documentary production, all connected to Audrey, all honoring her legacy. But at night, alone, Emma wonders, who am I without her? If I didn't look like Audrey Hepburn, would anyone care about me? The answer is probably no. And that's a hard truth. Emma matters because of genetics, because of a face she didn't choose, because of resemblance to someone she never met. But Emma has made peace with it, because fighting fate is exhausting. And if her purpose is to keep Audrey's memory alive, that's something. That matters. Givenchy, the man who loved Audrey so much he nearly bankrupted himself, died in 2018. He never met Emma, but he would have loved her, would have seen Audrey in her face, would have cried at the resemblance. Tiffany, the store that gave Audrey her most iconic moment, now uses Emma in campaigns. Full circle. The granddaughter standing where the grandmother stood. Same spot, same styling, different person, same face. That's legacy, not memories. But continuation. The face surviving even when the person doesn't. The image outlasting the individual. Emma Ferrer is 30 years old. She looks exactly like Audrey Hepburn. She works for her grandmother's brands. She protects her grandmother's legacy. She produces documentaries about her grandmother's life. But she never met her grandmother. Not once. Not ever. And that's the price of being born too late. You inherit everything except what matters most. Memories. Emma has Audrey's face, but not one single moment of Audrey's love. That's the tragedy. That's the legacy. That's the weight of genetics. Looking like someone you never knew, being compared to someone you never met. Living in a shadow cast by someone who died before you were born. That's Emma Ferrer's reality. Beautiful, successful, famous, and desperately lonely. Because you can inherit a face, but you can't inherit love. And without love, resemblance is just resemblance. Emma looks like Audrey, but she never knew Audrey. And that gap between looking like someone and knowing them is unbridgeable. The face survives, but the person is gone. And Emma is left carrying the weight of a legacy she never experienced. That's the price of being Audrey Hepburn's granddaughter. You get the face, you get the opportunities, you get the comparison, but you don't get her, and you never will. This is Audrey Hepburn, The Hidden Truth. From wartime horrors to Hollywood secrets, we uncover what they've been hiding for decades. Subscribe to discover the dark truth behind the elegant image.